So it's almost the end of January, and I think I've spent a lot of time this month trying to figure out how I'm gonna make this upcoming year a little bit healthier than the last. I don't want to say better. A lot of positive things came out of 2024 that I'm grateful for. I will say, however, that all of the things that we were able to make happen this year took a lot of energy and effort to make happen. Like all these camping trips and backpacking trips that you might see me go on this channel, even just in the planning stages, takes a lot of energy and effort to actually get yourself out there. And then once you are out there, it's very physically taxing, whether you're like cycling for 5 days or sleeping on the ground for a week. It messes with your sleep schedule, it takes a physical toll on your body and your muscles, and it's a lot to recover from. And then on top of all of that, I think I've had a handful of like scary, stressful, I want to say traumatic things that happened this year, things that I'm not really at liberty to discuss on the internet, but things that happened nonetheless. And I haven't given myself any pause. I have a bad habit of letting the gears keep turning, even when I know that I'm overwhelmed. And I think subconsciously, because I know that I'm young and like healthy, that I can get away with that without any consequence to myself or to the people around me. But I'm realizing as I get older that that is not true. Because I'm noticing, for example, that I will be exhausted all the time. Even if I've slept good and eaten healthy and seen my friends and journaled and did all the things that I'm supposed to do to be good and healthy, I'm exhausted. And I'm also noticing a lot of like misplaced anxiety, I think I could call it, because I'll be super duper anxious and stressed, but I don't know why. Like I was driving to work yesterday and my heart was beating and my palms were sweaty and I felt like I was so stressed, but I had no idea what I was stressed about. I wasn't stressed about work. I had nothing on my mind that was actively giving me that anxiety, but I was feeling it anyway. And I think these are all signals from my body and my mind to take some time to slow down. If you're wondering where I am, I'm in a cabin right now. This is not my property. This is an Airbnb. Jet, my boyfriend, if you haven't met him, he is the one who rented this out for me. It was sort of a surprise, but he looked at me a couple weeks ago and was like, I think you need a couple days to yourself. And being the caring and loving person that he is, he rented me out this cabin for the next couple of days. And so the mission is to relax. And it's very, very beautiful here. We've stayed at this cabin, I think once last winter. We stayed here together. I think it's such a beautiful property here. They have a loft, if you can see that, a loft where the bed is. There's some couches along the edges here, a little kitchenette, a ladder to get up to the loft, and a cozy little fireplace. And if you look out here, a gorgeous view of the woods. Very rustic, very much my style. There is electricity here, but there is no heat. So I'm gonna get the fire going here as the sun is going down, and I wanna warm up for the night. One of my New Year's resolutions for this year was to consciously try to focus more on the positive rather than the negative, because I feel like when I'm at home, just in my day-to-day life, I'm very good at picking out the negative things that happen to me, even though there's at least an equal amount of positive, if not more positive, that I have going on in my life. But it's easier for me to notice the bad things. And so what I decided to do, I kind of used to do this here and there, but on January 1st, I started keeping a gratitude journal. Gratitude 2025. And I've kept this up for 26 days so far. And at first, to be honest, it felt kind of silly because I felt like it was forced. I was having some bad days and I was like forcing myself to write something good about them. And then I was like, okay, well, I had a good nap today, or like I ate a really good pomegranate today. But then over time, like the entries started to get longer and longer, and I started to realize that like I looked forward to this part of my day, and I was also throughout my day actively thinking about the things that I was gonna write about, which actually forced me to start focusing on the positive. And like I said, some days it's just gonna be like the one good thing that you can pick out of your day is like a good bowl of mac and cheese or something. But then there's some days that I have an entry that's like a couple pages long because I have so much I feel like I'm grateful for, and this helps me bring it to the front of my mind on most days. Hopefully I'm not jinxing it by telling you this, but I hope to do this every single day for all of 2025. Lemon, parsley, so we're making salmon. I have a couple fillets here, lemon, parsley, whipping cream. I also have Dijon mustard, white wine, salt, pepper, oregano, and I want to say that's it. And so basically I'm dredging these in some flour, giving them a good sear, and then I'm cooking up like a creamy lemon garlic sauce, and then we finish cooking the salmon in the sauce, and I think it's gonna be very yummy. I have some broccoli for my side and some rice. I don't know why this is happening. I started cooking on the induction stove, but it kept turning off. So I started cooking on the stove, but it wasn't hot enough to sear my salmon. So I moved back to the stove and it turned back on and then it turned back off. I don't like induction stoves. They've always been annoying to me. What's happening? What's going on, love? What's going on? I just want to cook my salmon. Okay, but this, whoa. Now my salmon is half seared. Actually barely seared and not cooked. Okay, I'm guessing I'm gonna put this back on the stove and see if we can cook it there. This is such a delicious meal to be eating in such a beautiful place. This was actually a bit harder to cook than I thought it would be, so I nuked it in the microwave for like 3 minutes, and now it's a really beautiful meal. I also realized that my fish was trout and not actually salmon. I have a jalapeno and then an apple for a refreshing dessert. I'm gonna watch a movie on my iPad and relax. Good morning. Cheers. I want to get my day started, but there's one thing that I have to do first. Watch this. Oh, jeez. I love trampolines. I've always wanted one. I think that if I ever got my own place or my own property, this would definitely be my first fun purchase. Is my own personal trampoline. Oh, and who's this? Hello, who's this? Oh, hello. Hi, sweetie. Hello, 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 hello. Oh, you're such a big boy. Hello. Wow, you're such a big boy. This is the Airbnb owner's dog. He reminds me of my dog, but like 20 times larger. Same proportions though. Hi, buddy. Good morning. Good morning. You look so relaxed, don't you? What a view you have there.
Smile on New York Street. Go did Christopher say when he thought that I could not hear?
I gotta change this water jug over here because it's about empty, but I've never changed one of these before, so wish me luck. Oh, it just sits there. I don't know why I thought that they were like connected. Well, that makes this a little scarier, I think. Okay. 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 So I looked it up, and some guy on YouTube said the trick is to pour it as you flip it instead of just flipping it really fast. Oh my god. Okay. That was so unnecessarily scary. So this is their little outdoor fire pit area, and up here they got a tree house. This is quite literally my dream cabin, and I'm gonna go hang up in there. I think I got my little backpack on with all my stuff to do. And I just want to say, if the owners of this cabin ever see this video, I love your cabin so much, and one day I want to be just like you when I grow up. This bottom ladder is a little wobbly. I was gonna climb all the way up here, but the ladders are a little wobbly and they're on some skinny trees. So maybe I won't, for my own health and safety, but I do love the effort. But I'm chilling up here in the tree fort. I'm reading this book. I actually read this book a couple years ago, but I'm rereading it because I enjoyed it so much the first time. It's called Dirty Birds by Morgan Murray, and it's one of the funniest books, and it's Canadian. The setting starts off in Saskatchewan, and then it kind of goes over to Montreal, and it's just a funny fictional book and a good read if you're ever looking for something chill. So go check this out if you haven't read it before. I'm ready for brunch. As I learned last night, the cooking situation here is not ideal. I brought some bacon and some eggs, but so far this thing is on. I'm using a different pot. Oops. I'm using a different pot. So here's hoping I can cook this. This literally only turns on for 2 minutes at a time and then shuts off, so I'm cooking this bacon in 2-minute intervals. Hey buddy. I literally had to cook this in 2-minute intervals because the stove still wouldn't work, but we got it cooked. I wish I could give this guy a bite. He's looking at me like he really wants some, but I don't like to feed other people's dogs because I don't know if it's like allowed, but he sure looks like he wants some of this bacon. It looks like there's a little boardwalk or like hiking trail leading out over the marsh over there, and I want to go check it out. With me, bud? Oh, you got a stick. Nice stick. I brought bear spray with me because I wasn't sure how far of a little hike that was, but it wasn't very far actually. Like I can still see the cabin from here. I've been listening to a lot of Sierra Farrell and this girl named, oh hi buddy, And this artist named Noeline Hoffman, I believe she's actually from Alberta, like this province that I'm in right now. And I've had their albums on repeat the last few weeks. I think today's gratitude journal is going to be, there is the obvious, that I'm in a beautiful place, in a really cool cabin, and I have some time to myself. I'm also thankful for the place that I live, because I'm not too far away from home. I am here in the middle of the woods, but this wasn't a long drive from where Jet and I live. And I think that literally any time I go outside into the woods, no matter what I'm doing, I realize how unreal it is that I live where I live. I am surrounded with nature and opportunity and a world-class environment, like world-class fishing, hunting, backpacking. And as a kid, I took this all for granted because my parents weren't very outdoorsy. We would go on the occasional camping trip, but it was more like at maintained campsites, and it wasn't the type of stuff that I do now. And so as a kid, I didn't have an understanding of the raw and incredible nature that I had basically at my front door. And the more that I explore and learn about the place that I come from, the more I realize that it's something spectacular and something I should be very grateful for. So I think I'm gonna go right in my little journal. I've been sitting here on this little bed reading some books. I'm catching up on this book that I started reading a long time ago and never finished. It's another Canadian book, but more of a nonfiction, but it's a very good read if you're from Alberta. Do you want to come jump? Oh, I think that's a yes. Okay, come on, let's go. Let's go. Goes deeper than my mind. Sees farther than my eyes. Here's better than my ears. Peeps as you draw near. Ooh, and true love never forgets. So fill my heart. Another successful trampoline session for the books. I swear if I had my own trampoline, I'd be absolutely jacked, just yoked. I did like 3 sessions on this thing today, and I've never felt better. The sunset is unreal. It doesn't look as nice on camera, but it's super pink and orange. One day I'm gonna live in a place like this. I was kind of grappling with the fact that I had a lot of stuff to do this week and stuff that I could have done while I was here at the cabin. Promised myself I was here to relax, so I didn't do any work. I didn't try to edit or do any stuff for my job. I just had a couple days, and I think it's been very rewarding because of the time that I would have spent like editing or doing whatever I would have been doing. I ended up hanging out on the trampoline quite a lot. I was on there like 3 times today. I spent some time outside in nature. I cooked a big breakfast. I usually don't eat breakfast. I think I got everything I came for. And now I'm watching the sunset. It's a beautiful pink and orange sky. Cracker down. Cracker down. Tonight's dinner is going to be much less elaborate. I was going to say it's like a charcuterie, but it's really just like cheese and crackers and some apple slices. Very lunchbox meal. But I do have something new here. I got some goat cheese brie. I've never tried this before. They just had it at Safeway, so I thought I'd give it a taste test. And then I also have a tin of smoked oysters and some hot sauce packets. I eat these a lot, and every time I eat them like in a video, I get kind of insecure because they look gross. Like they don't look like the most appetizing food. But I used to eat these as a kid with like cheese and crackers, and to me they're delicious. And with hot sauce, game changer. And I'm gonna enjoy my little meal by the fire. I feel like it's a little corny to end my video by saying like what I've learned from this experience because it's only been 2 days. I can only learn so much. But I would say that it's been a helpful reminder that life doesn't have to be so serious all the time. Like I've spent 2 days like jumping on a trampoline and writing in my journal. I don't always give myself the time to just like exist, to just act like a kid, eat a little cheese and crackers, you know? This is where I've been doing all my business for the last 2 days. They have it really figured out here. They have this water jug that has this heating pad on it so that it never freezes in the winter. They've got these little fairy twinkle lights, and then that's where you do your business. That's where the magic happens. A sink, some hand sani, everything you need for a successful outhouse. I know this isn't necessary, but because I'm alone and like it's really just for my peace of mind, but I usually put a chair up to the door. Like no one's coming, this is private property. But I usually just put the chair up to the door. So if someone was to try to get in the middle of the night, I would hear them first, at least. And then I'm like up in the loft so I could like figure out a plan while they try to climb this ladder over here. You always gotta think about these things. Okay, I'm getting ready to go to bed. I have had the most wonderful time over the last couple of days, and I'm really glad that you could be hanging out here with me. I'm trying to get some sleep because the checkout is at like 10 a.m. tomorrow, so I'm going to be out of here first thing in the morning. I'm going to get up nice and early so I can clean up first, and yeah, good night.